You must have heard about the upcoming changes to Intimidate and Shield in the Division 2. I will tell you, I am a little worried at first, because I have a build that I rely on frequently for legendary missions. This build allows me to face tank those NPCs, to disrupt their attacks and to use the Scorpio shotgun. If you die a lot in legendary missions, well, you have come to the right video. Because this build is not only going to give you the survivability you need to take on multiple targets, you'll have enough damage to drop the enemies even as a solo player. While that's amazing, is this build still good for Title Update 15? Welcome back to Jumpstart Gaming. I would like to share with you a tanky Scorpio build featuring the Intimidate talent. That is going to be hit by a double whammy in the coming title update, for reduced effective range and delayed weapon damage. I'll also take a look at the shield break penalty. Hopefully, I can stay alive while being disoriented upon shield break. With PTS2, I'm also taking a first look at the new exotic mask, Catharsis, hoping that it can replace Intimidate. Here are a couple of disclaimers. The PTS is still ongoing and changes are yet to be finalized, and the focus of this build is on PvE content. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the proposed changes to the chest talent Intimidate, and the concerns that this may trash the talent completely. With the coming updates, the effective range of the chest talent Intimidate is now 10 meters instead of 15. So, you will need to be closer to the enemy for it to work. This is 15 meters in-game, and this is 10 meters. Not really near enough for a shotgun, to be honest. In fact, you will be in the 5 meters range most of the time. Not forgetting that you'll need the bonus armor from Adrenaline Rush that's activated only in 10 meters range. So there's no real impact changing from 15 to 10 meters until you consider the damage bonus delay. Instead of having 35% weapon damage instantly, you will gain 5% per second, ramping up to 35% over 7 seconds, or 40% over 8 seconds for the perfect variant. Whenever you are out of range, or lacking in bonus armor, your damage bonus will be reset and you will need another 7 or 8 seconds to ramp it up. While I can understand the need for trade-off to balance the game, we should appreciate the fact that there are already trade-offs to use the talent Intimidate. To have consistent bonus armor, we would need Adrenaline Rush, instead of offensive talent like Vigilance. And you have to give up weapon damage to be more tanky to survive being close to the enemies. So, adding delayed damage may be exceptionally excessive in trade-off. While the new changes will increase the time to kill in PvE, having a few seconds delay in PvP can be deleterious, effectively killing the talent. Keeping in mind that there are other more urgent issues to be resolved in PvP. Do you agree to the changes to Intimidate? Let me know in the comments. To test the time to kill, I will run up the hill, cross the enemy's line, and attack them from the back to the front. If you have any difficulty running past them, a decoy can help you. Just remember to switch it back to Artificer Hive after the cooldown. Compare this to a Hunter's Fury build, you will have better survivability. The trade-off is you'll be taking a minute longer to complete this stage. You'll need to constantly reposition yourself, not to face tank, but to maintain your bonus armor, as losing it will reset the Intimidate talent. I was shot from the side and my bonus armor was depleted, rendering the Intimidate talent offline. As you can see, the Intimidate talent is ramping up again. However, I was shot from the back this time, losing my bonus armor. By now you should appreciate the increased importance of using a shield to upkeep the bonus armor for Intimidate to stay online. While I am focusing on killing this target, I am hit again from the side, and this is the third time the Intimidate talent is reset, due to lack of bonus armor. Fortunately, there are more enemies now, which provides more bonus armor stacks from Adrenaline Rush. The amount of bonus armor per stack is dependent on the armor you have. So for legendary strongholds, use the Foundry build with armor and shield. And you can take on more than 4 enemies by making use of the structure around you for better protection. It is also crucial that you drop the shield before it breaks so that it does not go into cooldown, or disorientate you momentarily. If you are not able to drop the shield before it breaks, you can take evasive action. In any case, the disorientation is brief. You'll very likely survive the shield break penalty unless you're using an all-red build. While these changes are not as detrimental as what some content creators are saying, to reduce the frequency of resetting the Intimidate talent, you will need to pay more attention to upkeep the bonus armor. You will almost be invincible if you position right, avoid getting shot in the back, and giving sufficient time for the Artificer Hive to repair your shield. As long as you stay alive, you will be able to take down the enemies, albeit slower now with the ramping up of damage bonus for the Intimidate talent, increasing the time to complete this stage by about 30 seconds on average, taking about 3 minutes during the tests. Next test, I am running the new exotic mask, Catharsis, hoping that it can replace the Intimidate talent. For this build, I kept the backpack with Adrenaline Rush and swap out the body armor for a Foundry chest. Keep in mind that the Foundry chest and backpack will be available in the general loot pool. Now, let's take a look at the new exotic mask, Catharsis. The Catharsis is an interesting mask, providing both offensive and defensive talents. When taking damage, it will build stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Upon max stacks, further damage will trigger a purge, removing all stacks and status effects and then dropping a healing cloud which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds. For this build, I am not interested in the healing provided by the Catharsis as it does not repair the shield. What I'm interested in is the weapon damage bonus. I'm hoping that it can replace the Intimidate talent. Unfortunately, the Purge is constantly resetting the weapon damage bonus by removing all stacks. In fact, when it's compared to the revised Intimidate talent, it took more than double the time to finish off the enemies at the gate. After testing it over 10 runs, I am certain that the damage boosts is too brief for Catharsis to replace the Intimidate chest piece. With Intimidate, I can complete the first 3 waves in less than 3 minutes. With Catharsis, it's 6 to 7 minutes. Perhaps they can do something about the Purge to make it more interesting. So for now, I will continue to use the Foundry set with Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush. The key focus of this build is to use the small shield, so that we can run it with the Scorpio. To upkeep the shield, we have Repair Skills attribute in all 6 slots, enabling the Artificer Hive to repair 46% of the shield every 5 seconds. We are using the Foundry Mask, Gloves, Holster, and Knee Pads, all calibrated for armor and repair skills. We are also using 3 protection from Elite's mods. Badger Tough Backpack that provides shotgun damage bonus. And the Intimidate chest is a Bellstone with 1% armor regen. Despite the delay in damage from the Intimidate talent, the survivability you get from this build is exceptional. As long as you are constantly repositioning to avoid getting hit in the back, you'll eventually take out all the enemies. Your key role, when playing with a group, is to hold the spawn point, disrupt the enemies, and taking focus away from squishy teammates. Try to go after the snipers, the grenadiers, and the healers. There's hardly a need for teammate to heal you. The Artificer Hive can upkeep the shield. The bonus armor from Adrenaline Rush is your second line of defense. And the repairs from the Foundry gear set covers the gaps between each Artificer repairs. On the offensive side, you have Septic Shock from the Scorpio. In close range, the shotgun can still be devastating even on a defensive build. While this is not for speed run, you can definitely take on legendary missions successfully. It will work exceptionally well with teammate running a status build, or mortar, practically any offensive skill with a wider area of effect. In my opinion, this build has good survivability. Rightfully so, given the significant sacrifice in damage. Further nerf to the Intimidate talent will lengthen the engagement unnecessarily. I do hope the change to Intimidate does not apply to PvE. Under extreme pressure, you can switch over to the big shield to protect your teammates. You will be invincible if you manage the shield health repair from the Artificer Hive. This is a build that can take on a lot of damage. The key thing to remember is avoiding a shield break. If there is a risk, drop the shield momentarily to allow the Artificer Hive to catch up with the repair, then redeploy the shield again. Well, that's all I have for you today. Remember to like and subscribe. I shall leave you with the key stats. Pause if you like, take your time to review it, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. See you soon in the next video. Once again, thank you for your support.